15-year-old Yumna Afzaal was a student at the London Islamic School. The principal says she and her mother spent countless hours last summer painting this mural. The budding artist wanted to turn the blank wall in her homeroom into something beautiful.
They also chose a quote, "Shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars." Yumna also, with the same paint, assigned her name there. It's symbolic of who she was, of who the family was, and the real big legacy of stopping hate that's in front of us.
On Sunday night, while out for a walk with her family, Yumna was allegedly murdered by this pickup truck, along with her grandmother and her parents. Her father, Salman, was a physiotherapist.
Very humble man, very unassuming.
He worked to rehabilitate seniors in long-term care homes, including this one.
And to have somebody of that caliber and that commitment to seniors, and all of a sudden that loss to our communities is, staggering.
The lone survivor of the attack, 9-year-old Fayez, whose photo we're not showing at the request of the family, is recovering in hospital. And he's just been told that his family didn't survive.
My conversations with the family, he is their focus.
This family spokesperson says the boy has relatives in the area, and the community has raised more than $1 million. A number of complete strangers have also already offered to adopt him.
You can never replace your parents, but I hope he will have the support he needs to move forward in his life.
The family's accused murderer had purchased his truck just a few weeks earlier from this dealership. After the attack, police say the driver took off for several kilometers before stopping in this mall parking lot.
The cab was parked right there.
The president of the local taxi company says one of his drivers was standing outside his parked car when the suspect pulled up right behind him. The front of the truck was covered in blood.
The guy says, with bad language, insulting him, profanity, F words and stuff, "Call police, I killed someone."
The cab driver said the suspect, Nathaniel Veltman, was wearing an armored vest and a military helmet. When police removed the vest, the cab driver says he saw a symbol on the suspect's shirt.
My colleague explained that he had a swastika signs on his front, on his chest and on his back as well. But he said he was laughing the entire time as he was being dragged out of the car.
Police would not confirm those details, but say evidence from his arrest helped to lead them to the conclusion that the family was targeted because of their Islamic faith.
It was pretty clear from the investigation that occurred immediately at the scene. So without getting into the details of what evidence came from all of that, we were fairly comfortable at an early stage attributing this to being a hate-motivated crime.
Jeff Semple is with me from London. Jeff, the police investigation is ongoing. What happens next?
Well, Donna, next up, the suspect will make an appearance in court here tomorrow, expected to be pretty brief to set a date for a bail hearing. In the meantime, police are now reviewing what they say is quite a lot of video footage that was recorded by surveillance cameras in the area, as well as smartphones from people who happened to be here at the site the night of the attack. And the police chief told me today that they're particularly interested now in the suspect's online footprint, his thought process leading up to this attack, and whether the revelations there might help them to add another charge of terrorism. Donna?
All right, Jeff Semple in London, Ontario. Thanks. Kamil Karamali is also in London tonight. Kamil, you've been talking to a spokesperson for the family. I know they are very private. What are they willing to share with the public?
Yeah, that's right, Donna. The family spokesperson did say the family was very overwhelmed by the show of support at last night's vigil. Thousands and thousands of people showed up to show their support for the family. The extended family of the deceased, they were not there, but they were watching from afar. Now, they watched and listened from home, they said, and felt a sense of hope and show of support. A family friend is also sharing more about the family today. He said the father, that Salman Afzaal, was the friendliest guy imaginable. His wife wife, meanwhile, was incredibly hardworking, raising children, supporting her husband's physiotherapy practice, and getting her PhD in civil engineering. Now, friends and family, they say they can't believe this tragedy happened to a family that put so much good out into the world.
But when it happens to a family like that, it's that much more, painful that these people who only did good to society, they only did good to others, they were the ones who got the consequences of this hate.
Kamil, you've also spoken to the imam at the mosque in London, and while he's grateful for all the support, he is calling for more concrete action. What did he tell you?
Absolutely, and that's what they're asking for. We've heard a lot of rhetoric from politicians, but they're asking right now for tangible change, real change, so that they can feel safe, the Muslim community can feel safe out on the streets. And now the National Canadian Council of Muslims, they've started a petition, and they're calling on all levels of government to come together for a national action summit on combating Islamophobia, and they're hoping that will stir up some real concrete changes.
If they're making promises and if they say that there are going to be changes, then that is our expectation. Because this is not about politics. This is about the lives of innocent human beings. This is about a sense of safety and security.
And the family spokesperson has also told me that there is a funeral plan for all 4 of those victims, but they're not sharing the when and where publicly, Donna, because they really want it to be very private and very personal. Back over to you.
All right, Kamil Karamali in London, thanks.